What's going on, guys? My name is Turtless, and if you're new to the channel, please hit me up with that like and sub. Put a lot of work into my videos and I would really appreciate it. Alright, now that introductions are done with, let's get into the video. Alright, so why you guys are here probably is you're probably new to the game Smite, and you're probably going off internet builds or builds that your friend makes. But honestly, creating a preset build isn't the best way to play Smite. The best way to actually play Smite would be counter building your opponents, because it makes it so it's easier to play against certain characters. And in this entire video I'm gonna explain some of the counter builds that I've learned since I've been playing Smite to help you guys out. Alright, so counter building is when you buy certain items that go against certain gods' abilities. Alright, now I'm going to explain more in detail what I mean by counter building. Let's say you're playing against a healer such as Hell or Aphrodite, and all the damage you're putting out is just getting healed back with ease. Then I suggest getting an item that includes anti-heal. For example, if you're a mage player or a magical player, Divine Ruin is one of the better anti-heal items for that role. But if you're more of a tanky character, such as like a warrior or a guardian, I suggest Pestilence. Gives 80% magical protections and anti-heal in the kit. And if you're assassin or hunter, then I would definitely get Brawler's Beat Stick. I'm also gonna say if you're the healer, so for example if you're playing Afro or Hell, recommend Rod of Asclepius. That's the best item to counter their counter build. It increases your healings by a little bit, plus it gives considerable amount of magic damage, which helps in the long run. Alright, next I'm going to talk about the importance of penetration. If you're unfamiliar with pen, it allows you to do more damage on the tankier gods. For example, if you're fighting against Hercules as a hunter or mage, you're obviously going to start losing that fight because he's just taking all your hits like nothing. Then you're going to want to build penetration items, and the best two penetration items in Smite right now would be Obsidian Shard for mages and Titan's Bane for the physical characters. These allow you to do the job of a mid lane or carry, you know, putting out damage against your enemies, obviously. Next, I'm gonna go into slows. So gods with slows in their kits, such as Kuzumo's Kappa or Ymir's Ice Spikes. Best counter to a slow would be Winged Blade. It increases your movement speed after you get slowed, and you're also immune to it. It also gives you 300 health, 20% cooldown reductions, and 10% movement speed. So I definitely recommend that if you're getting slowed and just murdered. Alright, now we're gonna go into gods with the highest mobility and how to get them to slow down. For example, obviously some gods have slows in their kits, which will help against these high mobility gods. But let's say you're fighting against someone like Thanatos, where he's super fat and he can get away easily with, you know, 10% health. The best thing to do would be maybe throw some slows on your kit. So Gem of Isolation, for example, for mages. I also recommend that on Poseidon, no matter what, because that's such a great item for his Whirlpool. And Frostbound Hammer for your physical characters. Most assassins can actually chase down other assassins, so you don't really need to worry about that all that much. But like if you're a warrior, I definitely recommend getting Frostbound Hammer. It's not the most important item anymore, but it definitely helps for slowing the gods with the super mobility. Next, I'm gonna talk about how you counter build against gods that can go invisible, such as like Loki or Morgan. The best way to counter them is either with gods that have shows, like for example Hou-Yi. Hou-Yi has an ability that actually, you know, allows you to see him when he's invisible. But if you don't have that god, let's say you're playing casual and they all choose invisibility gods, Mystical Male is actually really good against the gods that can turn invisible, because if they're in that certain range of your circle that's like pulsing, if they're in that range, that certain gods will actually become visible again because they take that damage. Or in the case of Loki, you'll see the damage and be able to know where he is. So there'll be tick damage there and you'll see it and know where he's about to attack someone. But that's mostly a defensive item for physical gods. So if you're building, you gotta take that into account, that it is what it is. The last is how to counter hunters. What I mean by this is the gods that have super high damage numbers, but only from physical damage or like physical attacks. A hunter's basic attack is gonna hit you for, 600 crits, 700 crits. Best way to counter it would be a combination of shell and Hide of the Nemean Lion. Hide of the Nemean Lion reflects back the damage, so if you're a really tanky guardian and a hunter's just plowing away at you, it'll actually hurt them almost as much. And shell is a relic, but I'm not going to really get into the relics until my next video. So if you guys like this one, hit me up with a sub, hit me up with a like. But anyway, I'm starting a new Smite series for new players. So if you don't want to miss any, turn on your post notifications. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this, please hit me up with a like and subscribe. I really try to do the best content I can. I quit for a little while, but I'm back now. I'm mostly going to be doing Smite, so if you guys like this one, check out the next one. It's definitely going to help you to intermediate players, and thanks guys.